When Julien Alfred competes, I try to make it my business to pay attention, but when she lined up to run the 100 in Stockholm, yeah, I kept tabs on the race, but I felt like I knew how it was going to end. We had literally just seen her run in Oslo, like a few days before. The field that they gave her in Stockholm wasn't all that different from the one she had just beat. So I expected that her winning was like a foregone conclusion, and I checked the race and wanted to see what was going to happen, but didn't think that it was even going to make me feel like making a video all that deeply. But it's Julien Alfred, and she never shortchanges us whenever she shows up to the line. So here we go. Because this time, she goes out there and runs 10.75 seconds, wind legal. And I ain't talking like a +1.9 either, it's like +0.9. Runs away from the field by almost 0.2 of a second. That is what she gave us. And last time she won, she hasn't run the 100 much this season. Yes, she beat the field, but running the number 2, time in the world this year didn't mean that much because Melissa Jefferson-Wooden had already given us 10.73 seconds. She did that at Grand Slam track. So from that moment till now, I guess, if you're just going off the clock, you could say that we were kind of waiting to see anybody show that they were in that type of form. Julien Alfred wanted to let us know she is in that type of form. I could tell you more about the rest of the field and who was there, but Julien Alfred is the story. And again, like I said, her winning was basically a foregone conclusion. But the way that she won, specifically the time that we got on the boards, that is what I'm here to talk about. Because now we have to get very real. Again, when I say very real, let's talk about the landscape of the 100 and what's actually going on. Because this year, 2025, if depending on how you look at it, it kind of feels wide open. But at the same time, when Julien Alfred wants to do this, it doesn't feel wide open anymore. Because the landscape of sprinting on the women's side has been changing. Historically speaking, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce was going to be on that podium. And she might be this year, but then again, she might not. And Sha'Carri Richardson, yes, I gotta bring her up. She is the woman who's been putting times on the boards that made us feel like people gotta go through you in order to win. Now that Julien Alfred wants to run like this, we have to restructure because now we have consistency and the times to go with it. Like she's winning, and she's winning on these fields pretty legitimately. To the point where, again, it starts to feel like a foregone conclusion. Julien Alfred is in the race. We know how that one's going to end. We just need to figure out, can anybody go with her? Because right now, the same way Melissa Jefferson-Wooden at Grand Slam track really never saw a field, for the most part, that could run with her. Julien Alfred doesn't have that either. The only women in the world who can run with her are the ones we're probably not going to see do it until we get to the World Championship final. So, who are they? Sha'Carri Richardson hasn't run hardly at all this season. You can't count her out because of her talent, but is she the favorite as the reigning world champion? I don't really know if that's true anymore. Again, when Julien Alfred runs like this, Sha'Carri's going to have to perform. She had the bye to the Worlds, but that can be a blessing and a curse. She's going to have to come in hot because at the Olympics last year, she lost in the semifinal and she lost in the final to the same woman, Julien Alfred, and the script was almost exactly the same. The only difference is the final is when everybody was paying attention. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section because I try to read them all. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden is now she's now here and she's now running 10.73 seconds, breaking 22 in the 200. The consistency you're getting out of her is, hey, Sha'Carri, you got competition. Because yes, they were on the podium with you last year. And I'm just gonna go on record with this. I did not think that, when Melissa Jefferson-Wooden got the Olympic bronze medal, somebody had to get the bronze. But for who was actually on the line in that field, I felt like it was somewhat of a toss-up of who was actually going to get it. At that moment, I felt like Julien Alfred and Sha'Carri Richardson were the class of the field. I know I can't be alone in this, even though I'm sure people disagree. It felt like they were the class of the field because Shericka Jackson wasn't on the line, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce wasn't on the line. Be real with me. who was going to run with them at the top of that race. Sha'Carri Richardson underachieved in that final, as far as I can tell. Like, the time she gave us, the performance, the start, all of it. None of that was ideal. And Julien Alfred took care of business and wins the race. But now, she's still going to have to go through her again. And Melissa Jefferson-Wooden is at least proving to me that I was wrong to put her with the rest of the field. Because like I said, they're giving out 3 medals regardless. So if everybody's not on that top cut, somebody got to get the bronze. You can even see that in the results. In the Olympic final, Julien Alfred ran 10.7. Everybody else didn't run 10.7. We saw 10.8, 10.8, and I believe after that it was 10.9 for the rest of the field. Like, that's just what it was going to be. So there are levels to this. And Julien Alfred gave us 10.75 really by herself. I mean, Dina Asher-Smith, she's letting us know she's in that second tier now. She's been training through the year. We saw her in Grand Slam track multiple times. And I figured that around now is when we're going to start to see her perform, closer to what she's capable of. The thing about Dina Asher-Smith is she's run, depending on how you look at the calendar or like the years, it's almost like she's been here in 2 eras now. Because you have the era before Sha'Carri. I don't want to call it the Sha'Carri Richardson era, but for my purposes, for this argument, we're just going to go like that. There's the pre-Sha'Carri Richardson era and the post. And when you go into that like what happened before, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, like she's on the boards. For that matter, you have the big 3 from Jamaica. Shericka Jackson joined that big 3 toward the end of that. But there was always a medal more or less up for grabs. And Dina Asher-Smith has a gold medal in the 200 from that era. But that was then. This is now. You got to go faster now. There was a time where you could dream, like it was a realistic possibility you could get a medal in, for that, like the 200, you could do that in, like, you didn't have to break 22 in the final, and you could get one. That can happen still to some degree, but we're starting to see that the class of the field and the 1 and 2, like, it's moving. Julien Alfred is here. She's not going anywhere. It is what it is. The same way Gabby Thomas, she's here in the 200. She ain't going anywhere. Shericka Jackson, when she runs like Shericka Jackson, she's there. She's not going anywhere. Like, there's only a few people who are in that cut. And Julien Alfred has a gold medal. That was not a fluke. And races like this remind me that it was not a fluke. This is what she does. Julien Alfred runs away from the field. And then she holds them off. There's a reason why she was that close to the world record in the 60-meter dash. And there's a reason why almost nobody can say they've actually beaten her in that event, except Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, who's on the world stage and did it while they were in college. So for all those reasons, you've got to take her seriously. Julien Alfred responded. That's what she did. The 10.75, if you're talking about worlds and, going towards it, she responded. And you can argue with me if you have your thoughts on it, but I'm still going to put it out this way. The way I evaluate sprinting specifically, I get that you can prepare for worlds, you can try to put the times down then, but I really believe that you gotta run one flash time, just one moment on the calendar before the championship where you show the rest of the world what you're capable of. That is what makes you a real threat. On the men's side, on the women's side. Most of the time, that's what happens for whoever's going to be the actual champion. We've seen it before. So with Julien Alfred, in the 100 specifically, we saw it last year, but now I'm talking about this one. We have seen it before, because it's one thing to just win races. It's another thing to dominate them. Julien Alfred is doing that in the 100-meter dash, and I dare anybody to come out there and catch her. But most people are going to struggle, as far as I can tell. Nobody wins in track and field without putting in the work, because any real track star has to prove it, both on the track and in the weight room. With the I Trained Hard for This shirt, you can let everyone know that your success is not an accident. Get yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.